The search for Michael Vaughn continues. Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. Law enforcement has spent the last year and a half investigating. But the Fruitland police chief says a credible tip led investigators to a home near Michael's neighborhood this weekend.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughn. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the 6th day crews are excavating the yard. Crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughn's home.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughn could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wandra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wandra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughn were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wandra's residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn. Sarah Wandra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Sarah Wandra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. And Stacey Wandra, 30 years old, a male. Stacey was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacey has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn. Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacey Wandra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian Lucian, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacey Wandra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Wow, crazy ass week, right? So, it's February 28th, 2025, Friday afternoon here in the Pacific Northwest, and I am so happy to see you all. Hot Mess, good to see you. DC Prime Time, thank you for being here. Yaya's World, Mama's Bee, Baby Kisses, Pointer Lover, so many great faces here. New faces too, I see. Little Devil, if you're listening, I'm sorry I didn't catch your super chat the last show, but that was my show with Brandon Shirtliff, and let me tell you, things got crazy. DC Primetime Pointer Lover, thank you, mods, for being here. I appreciate you. Once again, you guys know me. I'm always spur of the moment lives. I'm always here the hell we go, so I know I saw something earlier. Connie, I believe, a member for 9 months, hon. Thank you so very much for your support. Chaos Queen, Eve Hickman, Pretty Cesar, Melissa, AC, Mrs. Barbecue. What are you saying? Dang, I'll have to wait until next week to watch the replay. Our internet is out until Tuesday at home. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much, sis. That is my older sister. We got Pam Bogle. Thank you for being here, hon. I appreciate you. Halo Art is here. Go check out all of her artwork. AV is here. Go check out her channel as well. We appreciate you. AV does some amazing cards. She made me one for my birthday. They're absolutely beautiful. You can also find her on TikTok. Heather, thank you for being here. Purple, I see you. Thank you, love, for being here. There it is. A member for 9 months. Thank you so much, Connie. We love you here at Missing PNW. Angel Girl, Hair Curlers and Crime, one of the best names out here on YouTube. I would have stolen it if I would have known it beforehand. I just absolutely love your name, and I love you for being here and always being supportive. Thank you. So many people here tonight. DC Primetime, I think I already got pretty much everybody. Thank you guys for still coming in. Oh, it really has been a crazy friggin' week. So much been going on, so many phone calls, so many messages, everything, things I am not used to. But you know what? I appreciate the love. I really do. After having Brandon Shirtliff on this week, things, are happening in the works. Still in contact with Brandon. He did go skiing this week. So we've been speaking, but we haven't spoken a lot. But he's still in communication, so that was great. I was worried about whether or not that connection would still stay, so I wanted to just update everybody and let you guys know he is still speaking with me in messages, but he has been out of town. Thank you, Chaos Queen, for being here. Yaya's World, I appreciate my mods so much. Callie Dime, hello, hun. I go spur of the moment live and I just start messaging people and they show up and I just appreciate them so much. I need to figure out my stuff and figure out a different way and yeah, try to figure it out. Yaya, member for 5 months. Thank you so much. Love you and all you do, Sammy. Thank you so much. Yaya, I appreciate you, Heidi, so much. So, today's live. Yeah, if you have any information on the abduction of Michael Vaughn, please call or text 208-343-COPS or email findmichael@fruitland.org. saying thank you for being here, love. You know what? I forgot to send you a message in Messenger. I go through my phone. You and I need to exchange phone numbers so I can send you text message instead of talking in Messenger. But thank you for being here. That is my admin on my Chiron and on my Michael's Facebooks. So butterflies are free to fly. I love that name. Thank you for coming here. Little Devil, thank you for being here. I just got done saying, I don't know if you were here yet. I didn't see your super chat that you sent me the last live. I'm so sorry. I was nervous. It was fast paced, but I appreciate you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for being here. So what we're doing today, I've got some stuff to talk about. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Chaos Queen. We party here when people give us super chats and stuff. So here we go, because Chaos Queen is super. She has been here supporting me from the very, very beginning when I first started throwing up my Chiron Hormone videos and everything. She's a very lovely woman and has always, always supported me. Thank you so much for still being here with us at Missing PNW. It really does mean a lot to me, Chaos Queen. It really does. We've definitely got some longtime supporters. But back to what I was saying, we are here today. So Brandi went out in her neighborhood and she took a lot of videos. And she sent them to me. She may have even sent them to other people. She did this before, taking the videos and stuff in her neighborhood, but she was never able to use them before the way that she wanted to. So I took those videos, and you can also thank Hot Mess for taking some videos. Also, Kelly went over to the neighborhood, did some more video footage in the neighborhood. And I started watching these videos. Okay. Not only did I realize what a perspective it was getting me, and I really thought, like, I thought, you know what, this is a huge neighborhood. But once I started looking at the videos, the neighborhood really isn't as big as I thought it was. And I want to give you guys the same perspective. And also going through these videos, I started noticing just a hell of a lot of stuff, like the sidewalks. And we know that Stacey Wandra talked about seeing Michael on a sidewalk, well, not Michael, he says a child on a sidewalk, a child in the yard, and he changes all of the stories. So we're going over that. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. Thank you, Not a Drama Nana. I appreciate you so much. You say, thank you for everything you do. You are a dedicated soul, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. I couldn't do this without all of you. We are going to party a little bit again for an amazing, amazing Not a Drama Nana. I really cannot do this without all of your support. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. So after, just going over. Oh, Brandi told me, Purple is saying, Brandi told me to share with everyone that Monkey Army shirts are in the final design phase for all interested. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I hope they come in big sizes, because I need a big size. But there were sidewalk things there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to town. I'm going to work. I'm taking these videos. I'm going to take other things. And then we got Pointer Lover here also. Thank you so, so much for the support. I absolutely love it. We're going to dance in our chair again. I really do appreciate the love, you guys, so much. It's amazing to have such a good chat. Like, by the way, just to let everybody know, you guys were all so good when I did that Brandon live. I was so afraid that he was going to be so attacked that he was going to fall off and not want to be there anymore. But you guys kept it so for real. An extra big thank you to all of my mods, like for keeping everything in chat. I just thank you so much. I swear I have the best chat. So I took these videos. I took stuff that Stacey had said. Here's the thing. Brandy repeated it to me on the phone. She was like, I know this has been done. You know, lots of people have been talking about it, you know, but she really feels like this is important. She really feels like this neighborhood is important. Plus, if people are watching that could give tips, we need that. Especially now that the DA is moving forward, we need as many tips as we can possibly get. So that's what I did. I put together a bunch of videos with the videos sent with me by Hot Mess and by Brandy. I mixed these with things that have been said by Stacey Wandra. These are things he definitely does not want us to see or talk about because it contradicts everything he has said about this child that he sees. And when you see the footage and I show you how it's impossible for some of the things that he has said to even be true, like seeing Michael 4, 5, 6, houses down in a yard. It's literally impossible from where he was. And he talks about, we're just going to go over it all. He talks about so much and just looking at all of the videos and stuff. You guys are killing me. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much, Little Devil. We're going to dance for you. We're going to dance for butterflies are free to fly. I absolutely love that name. Thank you both so much for the super chat. Let's party. Double time. I'm such a small channel and it doesn't happen often when I've got, people giving me super chats and stuff. I'm just so grateful for you all. You don't even know. The channel's growing and growing lately. And yeah, it's it's been crazy week. Tell you what. So also, Dolly Vision, we all know, some may not know, interviewed Stacey Wandra too, and he caught him up a little bit. So we're going to also share that. I'm just sitting here reading all of the message coming through, and yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. But let me see. Okay. I had a message come in. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So let's just start going over things, shall we? I really want to give you guys a perspective. Okay. So you guys are making me blush. I just love you guys so much. Thank you guys. It's turning out to be just a wonderful community. As more and more that the community grows, I'm just so happy to be in a good community of people. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's go over this, shall we? So first we got to start with Monkey. So let's put up Michael Vaughn. Let's run a banner real quick. Michael Vaughn has been missing since July 27th of 2021. He was abducted near his home in Fruitland, Idaho. The 4 named suspects are Stacey Wandra, Brandon Shirtliff, Sarah Wandra, and Adrian Lucian. That was updated January 10th, 2025, and they all 4 still are the 4 main and prime suspects in Michael Vaughn's abduction. If you have a tip, whether big or small, please call the Fruitland Police Department tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. It doesn't matter how big or small you think your tip is, okay? Any tip is a good tip. If you see something, say something. If you've heard something, say something. Did you have a conversation with one of these 4 suspects and they told you something you think is of value? Please call that tip line 208-642-6006. It's so important, especially now that the DA has said that he's going to move forward to bring in these tips now while this case is being put together and going to be brought before a judge when indictments go out, which is happening very soon. Brandi spoke with the DA again last week. Things are going to be moving, people. So any tip is a good tip. Please just call law enforcement and tell them anything and everything you know. Michael was 5 years old when he was abducted. And, you know, we know that Brandi Neal Vaughn is very sick right now. So please pray for her. Pray for, you know, her to heal. She will be getting a liver transplant, from what I understand. And, you know, she needs prayers. The whole family needs prayers. And if you guys missed it, the last live I did was with Brandon Shirtliff. You can go back and watch it. And one of the best things about that entire video was Blue, which is Brandi Neal Vaughn's oldest daughter, reading an essay that she wrote for college that she's going to go to soon. And it's very heartfelt and emotional. She talks about the grief that her family goes through. She talks about Brandi, her mom, and everything that her mom, that her dad, and her family has gone through over the last 3.5 years. So if you don't want to listen to Brandon, at least go back and listen to Blue read her essay. I know Monkey's Army, or the Round Table that Purple runs on Monkey Mondays, also played it. So you can go to either place to listen to it. Share. Let's get Michael's name out there. So again, the tip line phone number 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. I appreciate everybody so much. Tips are so very important. So please, if you know something, say something. Mama's Warrior, thank you for being here. Women's Warrior. Okay, so now we can get into it. She did do such an amazing job. She is such a beautiful, beautiful young lady doing so much. I think she's going places, big places, guarantee you. I want to start with Brandi's videos that she sent me. And then we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Stacey and what he has said, and then we're going to look at these videos. We may go over these videos a few times. We may go over his things that he has said a few times. If you guys catch anything and you really think that it's of value, I'm about to put my email in the comment section. Please, like, if you see something that needs to be talked about more and I miss it in chat, please email me so that we can talk about it more, okay? Like, I want you guys' eyes on this just as much, because I know I caught several things. So we're all going to kind of investigate together here. Okay, and okay, let me see. Where do I want to start? Yep, let's start with Brandi's video, and then we're going to go over everything. So, the video she did from her phone and an up and down, so I hope everybody gets a good visual here. But here we go. Brandi is walking out of her driveway on 9th.
Taking a right down 9th Street to the corner of 9th and Arizona.
She's walking west towards the field.
Shh.
And like I said, she feels like this information is important, and it is, especially after I've seen it all. Her sharing this with me and everybody else, it's important. Pause right there. Stacey Wandra has mentioned seeing a child on a sidewalk. He does talk about a child being on Arizona, which is where this silver car is parked. There's no sidewalk.
And this is the corner of...
And in that background, along that white line, that white fence line, that is 8th Street.
8th in Arizona. There is Hidden Meadows subdivision.
Do you guys see how close Hidden, like, what does she call it? Where Stacey and them live, that hidden, I know she just said it. Let me just rewind just a minute. Hold on.
Subdivision in Arizona. There is Hidden Meadows subdivision.
Pulling out of that subdivision, you can see Hidden Meadows. So as you're pulling out of there, you can see 9th. You can see Arizona. In some of the clips, Stacey talked about that being like 1/10 of a mile or hundreds of feet away. You guys, so much more closer than even I thought. And I've only looked at things on maps. I never really got down low and looked at everything. It was shocking to see. Yeah, it does look even further away on camera, and it's not. It's very close.
I'm standing on the corner of 9th and Arizona. Turning all the way back around. I am now facing 9th and Arizona on the corner right here of 9th and Arizona.
So this here, Brandi is in a vehicle with Blue. They're driving down 8th Street, and they're about to take a right-hand turn into Hidden Meadows subdivision, where the Wandra's house was on Red Wing Street.
All right, everyone. And right. We are in Hidden Meadows. All right, let's turn around right here. We're in Hidden Meadows subdivision. I don't want to go any farther. There we go. We are coming out of Hidden Meadows subdivision onto Southwest 8. All right, let me jump out here real quick. If I'm over here, you look down the road. I'm coming out of Hidden Meadows to subdivision, allegedly. Pull off right here.
That is where Stacey and now Brandon have said the truck pulled over. You can see it, and it's very close.
To pull in and put in power steering fluid, correct? Arizona and 9th.
And she's pointing at Arizona 9th, where she was just standing before. She's wanting everybody to get the perspective of you can see their subdivision from where she's standing on her corner. And when you're coming out of Hidden Meadows, you can see 9th in Arizona.
Coming out of Hidden Meadows subdivision.
I want to talk about this real quick because Callie Dime knows a lot more information than I do. And she is saying, remember the alfalfa, it was at least knee high on the 27th of July. Great to know. Thank you so much for pointing that out, Callie. I appreciate you so much. And now they are pulled over where the Wandra's truck was pulled over.
Okay, we are turning right onto South Arizona.
Taking a right.
Southwest 8th and South Arizona. Now we are coming to turn to Southwest 9th in Arizona. Now we are, here's home.
There's the house.
There's our house.
And you guys will hear sounds going. So you're going to hear the car, then you're not going to hear the car. By the way, I just want you guys to know things were edited. Things were cut out. Like Brandy and Blue have conversations and stuff that aren't really got anything to do with what we're talking about. So yes, Brandy knows that I clipped them. Matter of fact, I was asked to clip. So if you guys see any editing, that's what's going on here. Just an FYI. So they're headed down 9th, headed west, and then they're coming on to Washington now.
Okay, here's South Washington and 9th Street. And you go left to turn out of our neighborhood. That goes into a field.
So there you get to see there's another field behind that next street back. Just for another perspective.
That is the rest of 9th.
Voices behind the wall, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Ink's Hideout, I see you too. Thank you guys for being here.
Right now, we are sitting on Washington and 8th.
So right down this road, right on the left-hand side is where the splash pad is. They have basically just gone in a circle down Arizona, down 9th, up Washington, and now they're back to 8th Street.
There's the splash pad to the right, down the road on the left-hand side. So, as we come across, this is 1, 2, 3 houses, 5, 6. So 6 houses would have been all the way down on the corner.
We put Brandy's face there because we didn't want children shown. If anybody wants to know, just letting you guys know. But she counts 6 houses. So from Arizona to Washington, there are 6 houses going down 8th Street. And then, of course, there's a couple more past Washington, but we're going to just talk about these 6 houses, okay? So there's 6 houses.
All the way, all these houses would have been 6 houses.
And then where the big tree is up here is Arizona. And then you can see the field and the sun, and then they head back to the house.
So here we are turning onto South Arizona, Southwest 8th. And here we turn on to South Arizona, Southwest 9th. And here's our...
Okay. This is a Google map. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. The Vaughn's house is right underneath house number 2 there on 9th Street. So I hope everybody can see that. 6 houses. There's only 2 houses on Arizona. And we're going to get into that more also, because I want to point out something. I'll point it out right now. If you're looking at this and you see Arizona Street and you see the number 1 through 6, those are the 6 houses on 8th Street. Number 1 house, the driveway goes out to 8th Street. There is only one house's yard that where their front yard is facing east towards the field on Arizona Street. So one house on Arizona Street faces the field. And it's really super important to understand that. Only one house, okay? So do I have anything else in this clip? Let me just make sure before I move on. This is, I believe, I took a picture from a video that Kelly took. And this is facing in the direction, this is the corner where they pulled over, where the truck was pulled over on 8th in Arizona. I have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going all the way down. And we know that Stacey Wandra talks about seeing a kid in a yard 4, 5, 6 houses down. Do you guys see how far 4, 5, 6 houses are down? Can you see in the yard? It's an impossible task. And also want to point out, there's yards, there's no sidewalk. So how can a child be on a sidewalk? He can't. So the child that he saw was either in the street or standing in a yard, in my opinion. So this is just a very important picture, because you can see all the way down 8th Street here, and you cannot see 4 or 5, 6 houses down in a yard, as Stacey Wandra has claimed. This is actually the visual, and we'll see more of the visual when we go into more videos of where the truck was parked when they pulled over to the side of the road to do power steering or to do whatever it is they were going to do. Okay? So he really is Sarah Suspicious. Good to see you, hon. Love that. I love saying that name. So I'm going to hop over here to chat real quick. I want to remove this, see what everybody's having to say. Stacey has changed his story multiple times. He's such a liar. There's not a chance he would see a child 4, 5, 6 houses up. There's just no way. If he's parked on 8th in Arizona, there is no way he would be able to hear a parent calling for a child 5 or 6 houses down in Callie's opinion. And I totally agree with you, because that's what he also said to Brandi. And we're going to be going over it all. I mean, in the beginning, he doesn't know the color of the house. In the recording with Brandi, all of a sudden it's a beige house. Well, I went down the road. There, you know how many beige houses there are in those 6 houses? I want to say like 3 out of 6 of them, or 4 out of 6 of them are beige. No joke. But that's not what matters. What matters is, it is crazy for him to say the things that he said, a child on a sidewalk. There's no sidewalk on the right-hand side of the road on 8th Street. There's no sidewalk on the road on Arizona. So I feel like that's huge. Brandi thinks that that's huge for everybody to know. Like, we all know that he lied. We all know that he's contradicted himself. But it's also important sometimes to give that with factual evidence, with factual proof. Just for the haters in the back, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's important. I want to know more. I want to know everything I can. I want every single little bitty, tiny little detail that I can possibly get. And I don't know about you guys, but it helps me understand things so much better. Yeah, stories just don't match. And, you know, and now we also have Brandon Shirtliff says that he got out of the truck and he did power steering fluid, or he did the fluids. And that's different from what Stacey has said, which we did expect when Brandon came on, of course, for things not to match up. That has been happening with their stories. Sarah Suspicious says here, the fact he made his Facebook profile picture into a picture of Michael right after he went missing, to me, says it all. Yeah. And then the one on the fridge too. So I want to move forward, and now we're going to, since we already talked about the sidewalks, we're going to talk about the sidewalks, and we're going to let Stacey, in his own words, describe certain things. Emily Potts, thank you for being here. I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome. And you said, yes, especially if his belt is screaming because he needs to add power steering fluid. Okay.
Steering fluid in.
Mm-hmm.
You see the child who you said does not look like Michael. Who was with you?
Who was in the truck was Sarah, Brandon, and me.
And who pointed out the child that was out?
I saw him.
He says him, he says her. He changes what this child looks like. He changes the height of the child's hair color. At one point, I would even want to say he said something about the little boy that he saw was Hispanic. I mean, and he told this story to many different creators, and in each one, it was a different story, you know, and then he changes the age of this child. Yeah, I mean, we all know it's ridiculous. We've gone over it before. It's crazy.
I don't know whether they saw him. The hood was up on the truck, but I can tell you that it did not match Michael's description.
Who saw the child? Who said there's a child?
As far as I know, it was just me, because there was as far as I'm concerned, it was only me. After I shut the hood, he was still out and about.
He was still out and about, and he just got done saying that nobody else but him saw the child, and he changes his story.
No, I take that back. No, Sarah did see him, so did Brandon, but we never thought anything different of it, and it was not Michael.
And thank you, Opal, because this is also a great point, and this is why I love my chat, you guys. I love it so much. And he managed to make out these ever-changing details from 6 houses away. 4, 5, 6 houses away. You Nancy. Fancy Clancy, thank you for being here. Thanks for coming in. Beverly Lawyer, thank you for coming in. CJ, thank you for coming in. So he changes his story to, I'm not the only one that saw the child. Sarah and Brandon also saw the child. You know what I'm getting out of that? I'm getting all of a sudden he wanted to, you know what? I was the only one. So guess what? If the child was taken and the child was Michael, which we all believe there was a child there and that Michael was the one that was there that he saw, that they saw, he can't be the only one blamed, right? So what does he got to do? He's got to change his story. I got to say that Sarah and Brandon saw him too. Otherwise, I'm the only person. I'm implicating myself as the only person that saw this child.
Like I keep saying, you know.
But when you were putting the power steering fluid in, that was at Southwest 8th in Arizona.
Correct.
Okay, so let's look at it. You got A Street running east and west. Right there in front of that sign is where they parked, where the truck was parked. You got Arizona running kitty corner north and south, and then you got 9th Street. That's a good visual for everybody looking at it from like across the street. Brandy sent me this picture. Opal, thank you so much. Opal says, in case nobody told you today, you are important, you are loved, you have a voice, you are valued, you are respected, and you matter. And you're the sweetest, hun. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of Missing PNW's community. We value you so much here, especially with your beautiful soul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, hun. And when you're looking at this picture and you just see it, like it's just so close. And here in this visual, now you got this fence right behind this 24 or 25 mile an hour sign. That is the visual I also want to point out here. You can see the house facing the field. That's the only house that faces the field. Okay. And I believe, in my own personal opinion, that if and when they seen a child standing, if it was Michael, was he standing in the yard? Was he standing in the road? And if so, is that where he was taken? Because that's the only yard on Arizona. The only yard right there on Arizona. And I couldn't find it for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's been said that, well, I won't even say that because I hate throwing out speculations like that because it does start rumors, but we will continue here. Let's go.
He's standing or sitting?
Oh, he was playing with his he was playing with something, but
He fumbles right here with his words when he gets nervous and realizes that he came close to talking about the toy. Why is that so important? Because if Stacey Wondra would have said exactly what toy he was holding, then he'd be able to be proven guilty, because how would he know what the toy was unless he had taken Michael? If someone had taken Michael. Understand what I mean? Michael had something and he almost, like, he fumbles so bad right here.
it wasn't I'm sorry, I'm trying to recollect as best as I can for you guys. There was nothing I think I want to say.
I think I want to say. You think you want to say? Or you want to say it? I want to say he was standing.
He was standing.
Then why would it take him so long to answer whether or not he was standing, sitting, what? Sure does fumble a lot. His nerves really get to him here. And it's because in his head, he's probably thinking about this abduction, about what went down. What went down? We all want to know what the hell went down. He's remembering exactly. Baby kisses, exactly. He is remembering, and it's got him messed up. Kelly says he just put himself there at the time and the place. Exactly. Exactly. And then let's keep watching.
Was he in the street?
No. No, he was by houses.
So he was by a house. Do you know the color of the house?
No.
So he's saying he was in the street, which he would have had to have been because there's no sidewalk.
Oh, like I didn't pay attention to that. But nothing was nothing was unusual about it at all. You know, he was just doing his own thing.
He was doing his own thing. He uses the word he again.
And how far away from the street was he?
I was on the sidewalk.
No, he wasn't. There's no sidewalk. There's no sidewalk. And you can't see in the yard 4, 5, 6 houses down. You can't. This is the sidewalk that is on 8th Street on the left-hand side of the road. There is a long white fence that goes all the way down. There are no houses there. None. There are houses on the other side of the fence. So this child that he saw, if he was on the sidewalk, would have had to have been on this sidewalk, which is across the street from, or Michael or this child would have had to cross the street, 8th Street, to get over to the left-hand side of the road. Here's a video, another video. This one was done by Kelly. Shows the field, shows hidden meadows over there. And as you come the corner, it just shows again that there is no sidewalk on Arizona whatsoever. Kelly says, do you know that individuals who clear their throat, it can be a sign of deception? Yes, and he cleared.
Oh, he was on the sidewalk. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the street.
He wasn't in the street. He wasn't on a sidewalk. That would have had to have put Michael in a yard.
But he was by a
But you don't know where this child was that he saw because he's lying about everything. Everything.
house. Was it like
There was a whole stretch of houses.
at Southwest 8th in Arizona? Okay. About how many houses down did you see him?
I don't know. I could see him in the distance. You know what I mean? Like there was I mean, I could see the face, but I don't. There was probably 5, 6, 7 houses down.
There's no 5, 6, 7 houses down. There are 1 through 6 houses from Arizona to Washington. And when you're sitting in the area where the truck was parked on 8th in Arizona, it's literally impossible to see the yards unless it would have been within the first 2 to 3 yards. You cannot see the 4th, 5th, and 6th house yards at all. There are trees and bushes in the way. There's vehicles and there's everything. It's just an impossible thing. You cannot see it. And here is a more up close version that I really wanted to show you guys. In the field there at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see where the truck was parked, according to Stacey and according to Brandon. Brandon didn't get into very big specifics of where they stopped. He couldn't confirm what the name of the streets were, but that is where Stacey has been saying they were pulled over off the side of the road on 8th Street in Arizona. There's 2 houses on Arizona, but only one of them and their front yard faces the field. And then you have the Vaughn's house that's down here on Southwest 9th Street. So just to get everybody a perspective there, I really want everybody to pay attention about this front yard on the second house, because you'll see here when we move into another video from Dolly Vision where he talks to Stacey about this yard. Okay. And since I just showed you guys that, then let's go ahead and throw up Dolly Vision's video. I have his link. Let me throw that up in the comments real quick. He went up on Dolly Vision's channel, so give him some credit. Please, you guys coming in, please give a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. It helps get this video out there, and that's what we're trying to do. We need to always, always, always bring in awareness to Michael Vaughn. It's always the point here. And if you decide to, I would love to have you as a member here at Pacific North or Missing PNW. Love to have you join. You can also click that link in chat as well. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. So now we're going to go into Dolly Vision's video. Check this out and listen to the words carefully.
Notice a child with a. Tell me a little bit about the child you noticed. What did you see? What was going on? What you can remember? I know it's been two and a half, almost 3 years, so I know it's hard. But if you can remember anything from maybe what the kid was wearing, what the kid looked like.
I just know he had dark brown hair. He was taller, like he had to have been 8, 9, 10 years old.
And here you go. He's changing the description. He's 8, 9, 10 years old. He's an older kid, a taller kid, dark brown hair. It just gets absolutely ridiculous the way he changes his the way he changes his story is like, you know, at least keep up with your shit. Keep up with what you're saying for real. Like, why? Why not keep up with what you're saying? I mean, every single little thing is a contradiction. I mean, it's like, what? He goes up on all these channels and didn't keep notes, or he went up on the, and it's because he's lying. It's because nothing he is saying is truthful. Because when you're lying, you can't keep up with your lies. You cannot keep up with your lies. Yes, liars. Yeah, he's lied so much he can't keep up. Exactly. Exactly.
Did not look anything. Not. I mean, mind you, it wasn't a clear picture. You know what I mean? I wasn't really trying to pay attention. You know.
Yeah, you was putting power.
Always pay attention to my surroundings all the time. You know. But nothing was unusual about it. Like, you just seemed like a normal kid just playing in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and you say he had a toy. Do you remember what kind of toy he may have had?
No. I didn't pay attention again. I just know he was playing with something is all I know.
And you didn't see nobody else around the kid. Was he in a yard?
Exactly, Kelly Dime. You say if it were the truth, then it would be somewhat consistent. The only thing that is consistent here is that there was a child. There was a child that was playing with a toy. But the description is all lies. The age is lies. Where he was lies. Everything's lies. And listen to what Dolly says here.
Yeah, he was in the neighbor's yard, yeah. Or one of the people's yards.
And Stacey also uses the word neighbors. Neighbor's yard. The only neighbor's yard to the Vaughns would be the house that faces Arizona Street and faces the field. That's a neighbor's, and he says neighbors. How did he know that was a neighbor's? Something to think about.
Off of East Street, but
Okay.
And then, of course, let's rewatch that because he catches himself and then says off 8th Street. Watch.
he was in the neighbor's yard, yeah. Or one of the people's yards.
Or one of the people's yards off 8th Street.
Off of East Street, but
Okay.
A matter of fact, I'd never even caught that before like he does. He gets a little bit shaken up right there talking about the neighbors because how did you know it was a neighbors if he didn't know who Michael was, if he didn't know who the Vaughns were? And I'm not even saying that he knew them prior to this day, but I'm sure after Michael was taken, he was able to figure out that that was the Vaughn's neighbor's yard. That's my point. And he calls it a neighbor. And this video this interview is being done after the fact. So he's well aware of where, in my personal opinion, where Michael was taken from.
I assumed it was just
So
somebody's kid.
he wasn't playing in none of the fields over there.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Was he in the field or was he near, because a lot of that is
outside the neighbors, outside a house, like in the front yard.
Across from the field, which would sit right across from the field. Okay.
And right there shakes his head. To me, this is huge. To me, this is huge, okay? It really is. He is asked very specifically about the yard being across the street from the field, and there is only one house that sits across from that field on Arizona. And he answers and he says, yes. And we know he can't see 4, 5, 6 houses down on 8th Street. So to me, I believe this could be where Michael is taken from, in my opinion.
So how long do you think he was there putting power steering?
No. He was in the neighbor's yard, yeah. Or one of the people's yards off of East Street, but
Okay.
I assumed it was just somebody's kid.
He wasn't playing in none of the fields over there.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Was he in the field or was he near, because a lot of that is
outside the neighbors, outside a house, like in the front yard.
Across from the field, which would sit right across from the field. Okay. So
Dolly Vision did an amazing job really catching him up right there because Stacey sticks more to those 6 houses on 8th Street. This is the one and only interview that he does where he actually talks about this child being there on Arizona. And that's what he's saying when he's answering these questions to Dolly Vision.
how long do you think he was there putting power steering fluid in the vehicle?
At max 30 seconds. It doesn't take very long.
In 30 seconds, he knows what this child looks like. He knows the age. He talks about a beige house, a sidewalk, a toy. Not in 30 seconds. Excuse me. Not in 30 seconds. Absolutely no way.
Long.
Once again, I threw the same picture in. You have house number 1 and 2 that sit on Arizona, but only house number 2 faces in the direction of the field where Dolly Vision gets Stacey to say there was a child in the yard. Stacey says a neighbor's house. This is after the fact, and house number 2 sits right next to the Vaughn's home. And then that's where the truck is pulled over, there in the gray area, according to Stacey. It's just huge to me that this yard faces the field and that Dolly Vision got him to talk about it.
All right. Well, Arizona and 8th Street.
Let's come over before we go over some more. Let's go over, see what everybody's saying. You'd be surprised how many people know you that you don't know. They may have knew all about Michael and his family. Possible. Why would this dude say he was in the backyard and retract his statement? Exactly. Think of how dumb and narcissistic Stacey really is, thinking we are dumb enough to believe him. Shaking my head even after he says he was in that place at that time where Michael disappears. Brandon, you guys didn't stop to put in power steering fluid, anything else in the vehicle, did you? That's what CJ is asking. We have a new member, Domestic Pinup. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you so much, so very much. And when we get new members, we all know what we do here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, hon. Evil Alaska is here. They were shopping. Yeah, they were looking around the neighborhood. CJ, I don't think you stopped to put in power steering fluid, but I think he did stop. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder the same damn thing. What did they stop for? Why did they stop? CJ said, why did you stop, Brandon? Thank you for coming in, CJ. Not sure who you are, but hello. Pam O'Connor says, it could have been pre-planned, as I am sure Michael didn't walk out the door every day. This was opportunistic. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I am in Oregon and don't want to be left out. Yo, honey, you're not going to be left out. I'm in Washington. I'm not in Idaho either. So thank you for being here. Thank you guys all for coming in. So let's continue watching. If you guys catch anything, let me know.
Is only a few hundred feet from the area where Michael was last seen.
No, it's probably like, I don't know, like a tenth of a mile.
A tenth of a mile, and he had to clear his throat. He really had to even think about that answer. It's really not that far. You turned left coming out of Hidden Meadows, and it's right there off of the right-hand side of the road. You don't have to go very far.
But even still, I don't know how or why he would even be seen in our neighborhood when he lives completely on the other side of the subdivision.
Thank
So
you,
I
Muscles
don't,
and
or
Mascara.
the other side of it, in a different neighborhood. He doesn't even live in a subdivision.
What does that have to do with anything, Stacey? What? So the Wanderer's house is up top. Then you have where they pulled out from coming out of Hidden Meadows subdivision. Then you have where they pulled over on the side of the road on 8th in Arizona, and then down at the very bottom it is the Vaughn's house. It's literally less than a quarter of a mile from the Vaughn's to the Wanderers. So there's no way it's a tenth of a mile from where they pulled over or where they're coming out of the subdivision here to this area. It's 100 feet or so. It's not far. You would have put power steering fluid in by the immediate house because hard to steer the vehicle. Yeah, it would have if it had been. Hold on one second. Honey? Yeah. Allison's messaging me and it's probably about getting the kids tomorrow. Can you tell her? Yeah. And that I'll get a hold of her with details later, please. Sorry, you guys, I got plans with my grandbabies tomorrow. Absolutely nothing. He was filling space, filling time. There were no level-headed says, hello, thank you for being here. There were puddles of leaking power steering fluid in the Wandra's driveway, so no reason to put any in. Exactly. All right. So let's keep watching. We've got more videos. We've got more statements from Stacey.
Back from the tow, because see, Brandon said that it was him, Adrian, and Sarah, but you said it was yourself, Sarah, and Brandon.
Correct.
Okay. Now, you did mention seeing a child out by himself, but you didn't know that it was Michael.
Not at all. I mean, he wasn't, and nothing. I mean,
He can't figure out how to answer that question because Brooks literally says Michael, calling the child Michael, and he's trying to figure out how to answer this question without it sounding like, yeah, it was Michael.
nothing. Yeah, I don't know who he is. You know, I didn't think it was out of the weird. You know, he was just being himself, being a kid.
Okay. I mean, do you recognize him now?
No, not at all.
No.
That kid did not depict Michael at all.
Oh, okay.
He says, I know you're watching and lurking.
So the timestamp was before.
Shelly Clean, I have found 16, and actually even more than that now, 16 registered sex offenders that are all connected to all four suspects. Fancy Glam, thank you for being here. Sassy Nas, thank you for being here.
Before you guys left to go tow the car.
No, the timestamp of when he went missing was it like 6 o'clock or 6:30 at night or 7. We left at 5:30. That's when they timestamped us leaving the neighborhood. You know what I mean? He wasn't really
Honestly, to tell you, Evil Alaska, I don't know if they dug at Brandon's mom's house. I do know cadaver dogs hit at Brandon's mom's house, and Brandon's mom does claim that that was her leaky toilet. But cadaver dogs know what a death scent is. They do not hit on poop. So I'm not sure about any digging. If anybody knows the answer to that question, though, let me know. Callie, if you know, I'm not sure if they did or not.
Okay, so when you saw the child playing, about what time was it?
I don't You talking in reference to the child that was on his own?
The child that was on his own? What other child would she be talking about? The same child you've been talking her about for forever in almost all your interviews, like the child, Stacey, the child.
I don't know. He was out there when we had left the house. But we never stopped other than to stop on 8th Street in Arizona to go fill up fluid, and that was it.
Okay, so you didn't talk to him or anything.
Not at all. No.
You didn't ask if he was lost or anything like that.
No.
Do you remember what he was wearing? What colors or anything?
Not at all. I know that it was not Michael. I can tell you that. I would have recognized the picture.
Well, you've seen it a lot, right? Okay.
Every day.
And that every day. What is he trying to say there? Every day. I'm sure he does think about him every day because he knows what happened to Michael. So yeah, every day. Matter of fact, let's just pause right there for a second. I want to show Michael Monkey Vaughn. He was abducted July 27th, 2021. It's been 3.5 years since he disappeared. And we don't know where Michael is right now. We don't know who moved Michael or where one of these 4 suspects put Michael, but somebody knows where Michael is, and they need to come forward and tell somebody. The tip line for the Fruitland Police Department is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too small. There are 4 suspects. 4 suspects, and their names are Sarah and Stacey Wandra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian. Somebody knows something. One of them knows where Michael is, and they need to come forward and tell the Vaughn family, or they need to tell law enforcement where Michael is so that we have justice for Michael and peace for the Vaughn family. If you have spoken to any one of these suspects and know anything at all, if you heard anything or they said anything to you, or if you saw anything in the neighborhood, please, please give a tip. It's just so, so important. The tip line phone number again is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. If you're having that information and you've been just not wanting to say anything because you're scared, you can call in or email anonymously. They will help you. I understand that you would be scared to give in any information, especially if you've been following the case. You've heard things like Pope twins, gang members, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, any of that, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's some scary shit, but it is time for someone to come forward and tell what they know. Michael was abducted from Fruitland, Idaho, near his home. And we need somebody to come forward and give us the one thing. Where's Michael? Where is Michael Vaughn? If you know something, say something. If you saw something, say something. A family is suffering right now, and they need peace. Thank you guys so much for the love. I appreciate it so much. Let's see. Thank you so much, Capital K Productions, for the $5 super chat. Cadaver dogs are designed to distinguish between the different scents, unique chemical compounds associated with human decomposition. Yes, they know the difference. There wasn't poop that the dogs were hitting on at Tina Mariel's. There wasn't anything else being hit on at the Wanderer's house or Tina Mariel's, but a death scent that those dogs smelt at both locations. Thank you so much. Time to party for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. I can't be here without all of you guys. Thank you so much. If you ever think about being a member, please do so. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. All right, just trying to look through comments real quick. Yep. Justice for Michael Vaughn. First one to talk gets the deal. You know it's coming. So fess up, Brandon, Adrian, Stacey, Sarah. Somebody knows something. Thank you, Sarah. Suspicious for that. Yes, it is. It's time to bring Monkey home. It says, Brandon, step up for Michael. If you know anything, it's time to step up. Thank you guys all so much. It is so time for Monkey to come home to his family. Okay, let's finish watching this video.
Let's go back to the 28th. What all was going on the 28th? I know you say normal taxi runs and everything, but well, I mean, how did you know the child was playing?
He was just doing his own thing. I don't know what else to say. There was nothing unusual about it.
Oh, no, well, I mean, it's an unusual day because it's a day that a child in the neighborhood was arrested. So, yeah, I mean, of course.
That's unusual, yeah. But up until a point where we found out about him disappearing was very normal for us. I mean, we saw kids playing outside all the time or doing their own thing, I mean, kids would walk the neighborhood all the time.
Oh, sure.
It was a safe neighborhood, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, supposed to be, until one of the four suspects decided to abduct Michael in that neighborhood. So sarcastic, it makes me want to vomit.
I'm sure. I mean, did he have a trike or anything with him? Like a tricycle, bicycle, anything?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
And this brings me to my next subject, okay? Let's talk about this. So, as time goes by, evidence changes. We know this. We've talked about it. Some things in the beginning of, the investigation may not be the same things now because they found out, oh, there wasn't, this, or there wasn't that, or, oh, we got this wrong. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. We now know whatever, right? And I want to talk about this tricycle, scooter, bike with training wheels being called a tricycle. In the beginning of the investigation, Ellie spoke to people about a scooter, possibly because they may have thought that Michael had it out there and was riding around that day, but we know now that that's not the case. Even though law enforcement talked to people about a scooter, that doesn't mean a scooter exists. A scooter's always being talked about. We need to stop talking about the scooter. Doesn't matter anymore. Evidence has changed. Carson Starkey, he had an adult tricycle next door that he put up for sale. It was a huge tricycle. It's not the same tricycle that the Wanderers had in their garage. It had nothing to do with Michael. So let's stop talking about the big tricycle. Plus, Carson also spoke about big wheels being in the Wanderer's yard, and I know that for a fact because I heard him say it when I was listening to a conversation between him and Brooks. So there was a mention of big wheels, but was there really big wheels? I don't know. But yet, here again, nothing of value here either. You know, did he see big wheels? He said he did. Is it true? I don't know. Did Michael have a bicycle with training wheels? Yes. We have seen pictures from the things and the pictures that Brandy has shared with us before in the past. So let's call it a bike with training wheels and stop Eve with this is a tricycle. Okay? Let's just stop it. Stop spreading rumors. Let's talk about the facts. Let's stop talking about the things that don't matter anymore. Chris Madonna asks Stacey about a tricycle in his interview, that Stacey's confession footage. And from what I understand, and this is from what I understand, there was a tricycle in the Wandra's garage. There was also a box of toys of some sort. I believe they had this prior to Michael's abduction. If I'm wrong, if anybody can say I'm wrong, please let me know. I'll be glad to correct myself. Just if I'm wrong, let me know how you know, or be one of, Brandy's trusted people that I know for a fact if you're saying that that's what's up. Okay. But I'm just saying, like, there's so much being talked about here these days. And we got to put out the facts. We got to stop talking about these rumors or these things that we don't really know about until we know exactly what it's about. Like, why is Chris Madonna talking about this tricycle and asking Stacey about it? We don't know that. We're not privileged to that information. So let's, we can stop talking about it, or if you're going to talk about it in a way instead of theorizing in a way that it's going to just start rumors about a tricycle. That's all I'm saying. Like, we just got to let it go. Yeah, not sure why the tricycle is mentioned to Stacey by Chris Madonna, but it is. Was it Michael's tricycle? I don't believe that it was, but I don't know for a fact. So there's that. And I just want to throw it out there because it's being mentioned here, and there's no actual proof at all that Michael was on a scooter, a trike, a bike, or nothing. As far as we understand, Michael was holding something in his hand. He had a toy. He was playing with it. He wasn't on anything. Okay. Now I'm done venting. Sorry. I hate rumors. I hate them more than anything, especially in a missing child's case. I just can't with it, okay?
Like I said, the kid that I saw did not depict Michael at all. In fact, the kid that I saw looked like he had dark hair, like very dark hair, like mine.
Oh, okay.
And now the child has dark hairs. Exactly. Level-headed brings up a good point. If you have to remember, the Wanderer's friend, tattoo guy, had a young daughter that would always be at the house. There are pictures on social media of them there. So any toys that were there or anything could have been for this little girl to play with. You just got to stop spreading the rumors and the lies that a tricycle, a scooter, a bike, or whatever was at the Wanderers and that it was Michael's, because there's no proof of that. Facts, not assumptions. Yes, thank you. It muddies the water and they stay around forever. And the more we sit and talk about it, the more you keep running them years and years down the road. I don't do this often, but I will mention Kyron Horman's case. I've been working his case for many, many years. He's been missing for 14 years. I've debunked rumors in his case that have been going around for 14 years. They stick around if everybody keeps talking about them.
Well, how old do you think that child was?
Here we go with ages.
Like, I mean, he was definitely a little taller. You know, he wasn't like it didn't look like a 5-year-old kid at all.
Not a 5-year-old kid. He told Dolly Vision 7, 8, 9, 10. Now he's taller.
I'd say if I had to guess age, maybe 7, 8, 9.
Now he's 7, 8, 9.
I mean, he wasn't like a little kid. You know what I mean? Like he was. That's why I said it didn't concern me at all that he was out and about doing his thing.
And had to clear his throat. There's no way that a child that old was walking around then. He's lying. I'm just saying. Well, no, a child can be walking around the area, you know, playing outside or whatever, but he makes him sound like a little boy. We know it's a little boy. Most of us know and think that it's Michael. It's just lie after lie after lie after lie. Everything. He changes everything.
Well, I mean, how do you know it was a little boy?
I mean, aren't kids technically still labeled as little? I mean, if they're not in pre-adulthood.
Yeah, she tried slipping him up saying little, and he did slip up a little bit because he makes no damn sense.
Oh, you know me. I mean, I don't care if a dog is 500 pounds. I'm going to say it's a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you're saying, look, 7, 8, 9 years old. I shouldn't say it. That's horrible. And girls can have short hair. You know, I mean, I had short hair. My mother.
I can't confirm whether it was a boy or girl. I know that short hair.
Eve regurgitates Stacey's lives about the adult tricycle and everything else because she too retracted to. Hold on, I gotta move up. Chat's moving pretty fast. Hold on. Because she too retarded to gather her own info. Stacey said, "It is so, it must be true." With an eye roll. Exactly. Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. He's got money to come up on panel 2 for sure.
That was dark brown.
Well, did you tell the police?
They're aware of everything. I've told them everything I know. Told them everything my surroundings that night, my alerts. I mean, they know everything. I've told them.
Okay, so I have a video here that I want to share. This video is done by Hot Mess. Thank you so much, Hot Mess, for the video, for going over in the neighborhood. I'm sorry, I did not put together any clips from the videos that you took over by the river in the field. We'll do that another time because I don't want to get people lost in the fact of just paying attention to what we're talking about now, which is 8th in Arizona. But she did take videos for me more towards the other side of Hidden Meadows down by the Snake River and everything else. But we will go over those at another time, just not today, because I don't want to confuse any of the viewers tonight. Hi, Buckeye Mama. Thank you for being here, hon. How anyone could help and support a suspect in a missing child's case, it just blows my mind. All right, so let's go over this next video. This is going to be a video from the Wandra's house and the drive all the way to the splash pad. You're going to really see the perspective here as far as how far away was the splash pad, how far away was 8th in Arizona from the Wandra's house. Please thank Hot Mess for thank you, love, for doing this. I mean, she went out of her way. Let's send some prayers out to her. She had her cancer surgery and stuff. She's been going through a lot, and she still went out and took videos, offered to take videos. Oh, thank you, Bunkai Mama. I appreciate you. This CJ says, borderline personality disorder doesn't even justify helping someone like Stacey. Okay, so let's watch this video. It's just a quiet video. So this is the Wandra's house. Here, there's the shed. There are no great big trees anymore, if you notice, because they had to dig 4 feet down, 3 to 4 feet down, looking for Michael Monkey Vaughn, because Stacey Wandra gave a tip that he was buried in the Wandra's backyard. Chaos Queen, you're awesome. Thank you, love. We got a party, you guys. Sorry, got a super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. I love my chat. This is the front of the Wandra's yard. This is Red Wing Street, heading east on Red Wing. Say that 10 times fast, y'all. It's just not very far. Chaos Queen is awesome. She's been here a long time supporting Missing PNW, and I appreciate her so much. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys too. I really do. I feel like we're just all one great big family, and we're just going to have to keep welcoming in all the new people and making them part of the family. The channel's getting bigger. Keep watching though, you guys. This is not very far. The driver is driving slow too, so we get a really good perspective. I mean, you only go right around the corner, take a right, take another right, and then take this left, and that's it. You're coming out of Hidden Meadows. Right here at the stop sign, this is Hidden Meadows subdivision, pulling out to 8th Street. Taking a left. You can see the one house right there. And look, boom, right over to the side of the road. Are you serious right now, you guys? Are you guys getting this perspective? Like, this really hit me like a ton of bricks. You pull out of the subdivision and you're immediately, let's go back. You're like immediately pulling over to the right-hand side of the road. That's the dirt patch. That's the dirt patch that Stacey Wandra says that he pulls over. Brandon confirms that they pulled over there. The only discrepancy here is that which one of them got out of the vehicle. Stacey said that he did. Brandon said that he did. And then Brandon said that him and Stacey put the fluids in. Okay? So right here, we're on 8th in Arizona. The dirt spot is right to the right. You're barely coming out of the subdivision, and boom, you're there pulling over. What were they pulling over for? Wasn't for power steering fluid. And you can see straight ahead right here. You can't see 4, 5, 6 houses down. There's no sidewalk there. You're not going to be able to see a child in a yard unless it's those first couple of houses. And we have Stacey in his own word talking about a neighbor's house, a child in a yard in the neighbor's house across the street from the field. And y'all, there is only one house on Arizona. One. Shy's here. Good to see you, hun. Shy says that they believe they both did get out of the vehicle. So here we go. Right on 8th in Arizona. It's again hot mess for the video. Straight away, you can see the sidewalk on the left-hand side. You can see the white fence along the entire left-hand side of that road on 8th. Look, there's no other house. Let's back up a little bit. Watch it again. There's no other house but one. It's just a fence line next to this house, and then you get to one house. House, and then their yard, fence line. Then there's the house, the only house, right there on 9th in Arizona that faces the field, right where that little silver car is parked. Again, no sidewalk on Arizona. Sidewalk is only on the left-hand side of the road, not the right where the houses are. And now they're moving forward. They're headed east on 8th Street, heading out of both subdivisions towards the main road, where I want to pause right here because I want to let you guys know at the end of 8th Street, at the very end, where the CVT cameras or CCTV, I don't know. I never say it right. I always get confused. Cameras were that saw Stacey at 1:30, I believe, 1:30 at the splash pad. Okay. That's where the cameras are. If they would have had other CTV cameras up in other areas in this neighborhood, they would have been able to follow Michael and where he went and what vehicle or how he was abducted, right? And there's a huge argument between Brandi and Stacey when they both came up on panel with me about that CCTV camera. Because he tries to say, well, if they had that camera, blah, 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 then they would have been able to see Michael. They would have been able to see if a kid got in my car, my truck, da, 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 da. No, they wouldn't. Because the only CCTV that picked up anything was at the end of this road, the very end of 8th Street. They were looking for kids. They were looking for kids all day. You have Brandon and Sarah at the mall. I mean, that's what Brandon says they were doing, was walking around the mall. He didn't say that they were looking for kids or looking for anybody. And then right here, you're taking a left in to the splash pad. Boom, splash pad. You guys see how close it is? It's so close. This is where Stacey Wandra was in his car by himself. He said Chew fell down on the floor. He had to get out of his vehicle to get out. Or did he get out? I think he said he got out of the vehicle and got his Chew. That's why he was at the splash pad. But the other thing is why was he at the park kitty corner from where Brandi was working in a totally different area for 2 to 3 hours? I've heard 2 and I've heard 3, so I'm not sure what it is. But he just sat at a park for like 2 to 3 hours. Now Kelly's leaving the splash pad, pulling out on 8th Street and going right. And I love this perspective because now she's going to be taking a left on Washington. Look how close this is. Boom, left. And we know before that Michael got out of the house once before and tried following his brother to the splash pad, but Papa caught him. This is how close it was. Just right around the corner. And then now taking a right onto 9th Street. This is where the Vaughn family lives. The field is immediately in front of the truck right now. The Vaughn's home is right here over on the right-hand side of the road. There's the field on Arizona. CJ says Brandon wasn't out walking around when they put power steering fluid in. So when was Brandon out walking around and why? Huh, Brandon? Man, this CJ person's got some questions for Brandon tonight. So this is 9th in Arizona, just like you guys saw earlier where Brandy was staying. And this is the field. Again, there's no sidewalk here on the right-hand side of the road on Arizona. There's only one house here, a house I'm actually really starting to believe and wondering if that's where Michael was taken from. Did Brandy know these people? I don't know. I know that Chris Madonna talked to Tyler during an interview. Did not know the Wandras, no. But the neighbors, I thought is what you were asking about. I know Michael would talk to the puppies that were in the neighbor's yard, the neighbors that are right here, right on the right-hand side of the road by the silver car. Callie Dime says, nope, they did not. Callie Dime is really close. They're like sisters to Brandy. They are sisters. From another mother. No sidewalk here, getting up to that stop sign. So now we've gone through that neighborhood from the other opposite direction. And now we know how close. Again, that's the sidewalk going down 8th Street on the left-hand side of the road. That is a picture. You can see the only one house on Arizona. You can slightly see 9th Street there in the background. You can also see where the truck parked right here in front of the 25-mile-an-hour sign. And the street directly in this picture is East and West 8th Street in Arizona. Now, this is important, and you're only going to see it quickly. I'm going to try to pause. Whoops, too far. Let me see. Kelly did something amazing with her caretaker. Check this out. So I'm going to try to pause it here. Did you guys, I don't know why my circle didn't last very long. Boo. I'm going to try to get it right on. Let me see if I can. Because we're trying to give you perspective here. Let me see. I gotta catch it. Okay. Where that circle was, that's actually where her caregiver, sorry, is standing in the road. I mean, I can barely even see her standing in the road. And then further along in the video, she goes further back to eventually barely even being able to see her, to give us a different perspective of somebody being in the road. Kelly also tried to make sure that her caregiver was like wearing the same kind of colored clothes. But look how hard it is to see her. It's very hard. And then just continue watching here for a second. her caregiver just keeps walking back and back. And the further she goes back, the less you can see her. And she's standing on the street. She's not even in the yard. And she's saying that her caregiver is 5 feet 6 inches. And no, Kelly, she isn't 2 houses down. I did look like where she was standing. She's like 3 houses down right now from where she's at. But Stacey Wandra talks about 4, 5, 6 houses down. There's just absolutely no way once they got down, once she gets even further down, you can barely see her. And she's at like the 4th or 5th house. And I was only able to really understand where she was when I Google mapped and I looked and got like an earth view of it. I used these 2 trees, this big evergreen tree and this other tree here, to determine where she is, because she's pretty much almost standing right in front of it. But I really just think True Crime Junkie, thank you for being here. Yeah, you can barely see her. And she's a full-grown adult. Thank you for pointing that out. She is an adult that's 5 feet 6 inches tall. Barely can see her there. And he's trying to say that he saw a kid in a yard that far away. No friggin' way. I don't believe it. Yeah. Captain Productions like, I don't see anybody. There is someone there. There is someone there standing there in the road. It doesn't make sense. We all know. There she is. If you guys, let me see if I can back up. No. What the heck? Here. Let's play it again. Let me see if I can stop it. Barely see her. Right there. Where the red circle is. I tried so hard to make sure I could get, like, you can barely see anybody in that circle. And most of you may not even be able to see. I only know because I've watched this video 1,000 times. You can't see anything. Yeah, barely see her. And look as she steps up into the yard. Nothing. Can't see anything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a huge. First, you can post a link. Purple is going to post the link for Monkey's Army shirts. It's ready. She just got it. She's going to share it here. Please, everybody, if you're interested in getting a shirt for Monkey's Army, go purchase one. Click that link and purchase a shirt. Man, y'all, I hope y'all thought about the big girls. I'm just saying, because I want one. And if nothing else, I'm about to get my daughter one, my husband one. Like, we're about to buy some shirts. Thank you, Purple, for sharing it. Click that link, everybody. Click that link. Give a thumbs up. Become a member to the channel if you'd like. If you're a lurker in the bushes, totally fine. If you're just a subscriber, that's fine too. I appreciate everybody being here. I mean, it's been a crazy week. No joke. Crazy week. And yeah, I got lots of love and support from a lot of people. And I just really want to tell you guys, I know I say it all the time, but I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I get messages, I get emails, I get messenger stuff. And after Monday's interview with Brandon Shirtliff, I couldn't believe when I went back and rewatched it and saw in chat. I mean, yeah, big deal. There were a few people don't like Brandon. You don't have to like Brandon, but I just appreciate no one like right out attacking, because I didn't want him to run away. And you guys were just amazing chat. And I was just so thankful. Scotty Too Hottie, what's up? Nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. I just saw you somewhere. Where was it? Scotty Too Hottie, weren't you in? Oh my goodness. Brittany's chat maybe yesterday? I was around the YouTube streets yesterday watching some stuff. Angel Jenkins, thank you for coming. All right, so I'm going to take this one down. I hope you guys are seeing the perspective that I'm seeing. Yes, you were. Okay. I thought I recognized you. Thank you for coming over, hun. I appreciate it. Let me see. Another thing, because I really want to go over this one too. Brandi is quite pissed off and really upset. She's having a little bit of a meltdown when she was up on panel. Who could blame her, right? It is absolutely heartbreaking. And so I am going to share a little bit of a clip where Stacey and Brandi are arguing about the child that he saw, because it is part of breaking down a story. And this is the most recent time that Stacey has talked about this child that he says he saw. So just trigger warning for anybody out there. Brandi is very upset. So here we go. I'm throwing it up.
Seen him that night. Brandi. Seen him that night. Tell me about the kid. Tell me about the kid on the road. Was it him?
That was not him. No, it was not him.
How come he changed ages, sex, color of hair?
Yeah. Stacey gets confused, but Brandi is saying, like, how come he changes sexes, like from boy to girl? How come he changes hair color? How come he changes ages? Everything. Because she has seen the inconsistencies herself in all of his dumbass interviews that he did where he contradicts himself constantly. So we're just going to keep watching what else she's got to say.
All of your statements, how come that little boy where you said you pulled off out of the neighborhood up here on 8th, there are no houses here, you cannot see that.
There are no houses here, she is saying, on, the side where the sidewalk is, because there's just a white fence. There's only 6 houses on the other side, and there's only one possible house on Arizona that this child could have been standing in.
Found 6 houses.
How can you tell me I can't see 6 houses? That was not your son, Brandi. What do you want me to say?
You changed your...
Because you can't see 6 houses, Stacey, down. You cannot. It's impossible. There is no way you're going to see a child in a yard 6 houses down. It's just not going to happen. I saw somebody in the comment section say something about my email, so I just threw it up for everyone in case you need it. If you saw anything in any of these, any contradictions that I didn't point out, please email me and let me know what you saw. I would love to go over it in case it is something to talk about. Rizzo, thank you for being here.
Story continuously, and then you
I haven't.
Yes, you have.
And he literally says he has not changed his story. Are you friggin' serious? God, vomit. He's just gross. He's a monster. The way he treats Brandi, he's disgusting. He's a monster. He got off on making her upset. Everything about him is pure evil, if you ask me.
Specified in every one of my podcasts that I've done that my information may not be 100% clear, as it has been almost 3.5 years. Would you remember something 3.5 years verbatim, detail? Would you? Because I guarantee you wouldn't. Nobody can remember something identical.
I guarantee you, Brandi remembers every single minute, every single second of July 7th, 2021, the day her son was abducted by one of you 4 suspects, Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shurtleff, Adrian Lucian, over 3 years ago, okay? Guarantee you, she knows it. And we know you know it, Stacey. I mean, you can't play dumb forever. You can't keep using the excuse, it was so long ago, I'm not sure I can remember.
Cool. Pinpointing it to it.
Hold up 1 second. We need to give Brandy a second to calm down. I hated using the word calm down, but she was so upset and she's been so sick. And oh goodness, I was so worried about her health when she got upset. I was so worried about her health. It was breaking me. It was breaking me. And breathe for a minute.
Tell me, what was the boy doing that you saw on the road that night?
It wasn't your boy, Brandy. And he was outside of some house playing down the road.
Which house?
On the right-hand side. I don't know what house. I don't know exactly what house. I don't have an address to give you other than it was literally probably like 4 or 5 houses on the right-hand side of the road.
It wasn't 4 or 5 houses down because you couldn't have seen that far. You're just lying to the mother of a missing child, Stacey. As she's begging you to tell her things, to tell her where her son is. Where is Monkey Michael Vaughn? Where is he? And yeah, I had to throw this in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses down. You can't see. I even blew this picture up just to give you guys a little bit more of perspective, because you can't see that far down in the yard. Yes, begging mother. Most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. Six houses down from South Arizona to South Washington. And there's no way he saw a house or a child in the yard. I mean, 4, 5, 6 houses down. There's one yard and it's on Arizona and it faces the field. To me, I believe that's where this child was, and that's where Michael was taken from. And that's my personal opinion. I'm not privy to any privilege, I'm not privy to any extra information, but I really do believe that that's where Michael was taken from because it's the only yard on Arizona.
And it was not Michael.
Let's not yell, Stacey. Let's not yell, Stacey.
You would have had to drive by the kid, right?
Correct.
Can
but by the time I had filled up the power steering and we had taken off, he had already gone back inside with his family.
So now here's where a story starts to change again, and he starts talking about a child going back into the home. He starts talking about hearing a mother or a person calling for this child for them to come in. He starts talking about the color of the house after Brooks has already asked him and he didn't know the color. Now he's going to say it's beige.
How do you know
I had watched because I don't know that it was family's house. All I know is I watched somebody come out of the side of their house and told them that it was time to come inside. And that's all I know. What else do you want me to give you? It wasn't your boy. You want to make up something?
So you saw.
We don't want you to make up anything because that's what you do all the time. What we want is the truth. What we want is to know where Monkey is. That's what Brandy was wanting from you when she's begging you to tell her where her son was. Hello, Trips. Good to see you.
Oh, little boy. You pulled off the side of the road on 8th. Was it directly outside?
No. Clarify. I did not see the little boy until after I had gotten out of the truck and opened the hood, and I heard noise coming from the background of somebody.
Let's just rewind this a little bit, because if you guys listen closely, we went over this a few weeks ago. He slips up and acts like he's going to say something. God, I can't remember what it was we thought he was going to say. Hold on, let me hear again. Hold on.
Out of the truck and opened the hood, and I heard,
and you hear this S, okay? And I heard, so is that screams? And I heard screams. What did he hear that started with an S? Listen up again. We went over this a while back ago, but still, though, this is a major slip up, in my opinion. Listen closely.
Boy, until after I had gotten out of the truck and opened the hood, and I heard noise coming from the background.
And he covers it up. Noise. And I heard noise. I just think it's huge right here.
Out of the truck and opened the hood, and I heard noise coming from the background of somebody playing in the yard of the house. Just to get that straight. We didn't pull off because we saw somebody playing in the front yard. To clarify.
Okay, let me calm down here. So you pulled out of Hidden Meadows subdivision, correct? Took a left.
Carry on.
Okay. The next road to turn is
The next right turn was in Arizona Street.
Correct. So
We
from where
pulled off
you left
before
Hidden
that.
Meadows-
And then we pulled over before that. He doesn't even want to talk about Arizona Street, does he? Now, after all the information that I have given you guys tonight and been able to, I feel like, prove that he wouldn't be able to see a child in a yard. And here he is totally trying to stay away from, doesn't want to talk about Arizona at all. Doesn't want to do it. Why? But on Dolly Vision, he talks about a child standing in a yard on Arizona. And this is a house facing the field, the one and only house on Arizona that faces the field. So much deflection here with Brandi talking about Arizona. I want to back up just a tiny bit more. Listen, he gets very, very defensive all of a sudden to talk about Arizona.
Okay. The next road
Psychosocial in the house. Hello.
to turn is
The next right turn was in Arizona Street.
Correct.
He pulled over before that.
So
We
from where
pulled
you
off
left
before
Hidden
that.
Meadows- Okay, in between, because that's all field right there on the right-hand side. That's nothing.
And
to
there's
see.
also a pull-off spot.
Right there, right before the sign on 8th, or excuse
Correct.
me, Arizona, on Arizona. So
Correct.
where was the little boy? Because you would have had to pull off right there in front of Arizona and 8th, right
Correct.
there, where the pull-off is. I've stood there and I've looked down the road. Which house looking down the road? I know you said 5 or 6 houses down the road. You said this child was playing in the yard. Was he standing? Was he sitting?
He was standing in the yard. How else would I know?
Right, Kelly? As he is raising his voice to the mother of a missing child, when in the beginning he said she could ask him anything. And he just treats her like shit. The whole time, all I wanted to do was tell him to F off and kick him off my channel. The only reason he even stayed up there is because I knew how important it was for Brandi to confront him. Otherwise, his ass would have been gone. He disrespected me, cutting me off the entire time, but mostly he disrespected Brandi the entire time, cussed at her, yelled at her, argued with her, and most of all, didn't tell her where Monkey was when she's begging.
Noticed somebody who was he was like having a good time. He was just being himself. I don't know. He was being like every fucking other kid that wants to have fun in their life. I don't know. It was not Michael. Trust me, I'm very, very familiar with faces, Brandi. And Michael's.
And that was another thing I hated that he did with Brandi. Brandi. He said her name so many times I wanted to barf. She was a child or something, or he just got off on saying Brandi's name over and over and over again. But I think he only said Michael's name once because he can't say Michael's name. Brandi, Brandi, Brandi. Oh my God. Ugh. I've watched this video so many times. I have not replayed it too many times on here because I get so aggravated and pissed off every time I watch it.
Face was not that boy.
But I know all my neighbors, and there's no children. There are no kids there.
Well, there was a kid there, and it wasn't Michael. So I don't know what else to tell you other than what I saw and what I heard and what I know, that somebody came out of the house and told them that it was time to come inside.
And now somebody's talking, and somebody came outside and called this child in because he's trying even more to convince her that it was not Michael, the child that he saw. When we all know it was. Why? Because Michael is missing. Michael was abducted.
I don't know if these people had friends that had kids or if somebody was babysitting. I don't know.
You saw that person tell that kid to go inside?
I heard the person tell him to come in.
So you were close enough to hear, but couldn't see.
Exactly, Brandy. Get him. Get him.
Which house, or do you remember which house? I know it's been 1,240 days, 3.5 years of pure hell and nightmares. People claiming they know where my son is and won't tell me. So,
If I knew who your boy was, I would have already told them that at the beginning of everything.
Just please beware. Just watch your tone a little bit, Stacey. Please watch your tone.
I'm just curious, which house was it that you saw this little?
It was a beige house. I don't know exactly the number. It was a beige house.
And it's on that right.
And now all of a sudden he knows the color of the house. From the view that I gave you guys, would you be able to pick out colors of houses except for the first couple of houses? But he was at the 4th, 5th, 6th house, still claiming that, even, close to this day. Child wasn't on Arizona. It was 4, 5, 6 houses down from that corner, and he knows it was beige. Come on.
Right side right there on 8th.
All right.
Between Arizona and Washington.
All right.
I know all of those neighbors.
Okay. And I'm sorry that you, okay, and maybe you ever think maybe they were babysitting, or maybe,
I know their grandchildren.
maybe they had a friend over. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? I don't have anything to give you, Brandy. I have told every fuck.
He doesn't have anything to give Brandy because he doesn't even know where Michael is, in my opinion. And that's why he constantly tells her, I can't give you anything.
Thing. You're trying to get something, get me to say I have information. I don't have anything.
He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have Michael. He doesn't know where Michael is. Somebody took him out of that backyard there at the Wanderers and moved him. We know Michael was back there because of the cadaver dogs. Where did he go? Don't know. But there are 4 suspects in the abduction of Michael Monkey Vaughn. And their names are Stacey Wandra, Sarah Wandra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian. And somebody knows something. Somebody out there has got to come forward and tell this family, the Vaughn family, where Michael Vaughn is. Or somebody knows something and has heard something from these suspects, Sarah, Stacey Wandra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian, and they know it, and they've been keeping it to themselves. And it's the one thing that could really help this case break through, find Michael, or at least tell the Fruitland Police Department or the Vaughn family what happened to Michael. How would you like your son, your 5-year-old son, kidnapped from you and not know exactly what happened to them? But you know that your son was murdered. You know your son was buried in a trash bag. You know that somebody dug him up and then moved him somewhere else. How would you like to know all of that and know that people out there know where your son is and no one is speaking up? Tips are still coming in. Cops are still working on this case, but guess what? Somebody out there knows the information that is needed to give Michael Vaughn justice, the justice that this 5-year-old little boy deserves, the peace that this family deserves. You know, Brandi is so sick right now. She is so sick. She wants to know where her son is before she could pass. We are all hoping and praying that will never happen, but that is the worst case scenario here, is that Brandi passes away without ever knowing what happened to her son. This is devastating. It's heartbreaking. This family needs to know. The tip line phone number for the Fruitland Police Department's tip line is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too small. This family has suffered enough. I get more and more frustrated. I get more and more upset as the days go by and still no answers for this family. The more I get to know the Vaughn family, the more things I hear, like Blue's essay for college that was written about grief and everything their family has gone through over the past 3.5 years. All of the people that are involved in the Vaughns' life that are working hard to help the family. We are all suffering. Everybody is suffering. And somebody knows where Michael is and they need to come forward. Somebody has a tip that will just blow this case wide open. You got to call in the tip, okay? DA is pushing forward on 4 suspects, Sarah and Stacey Wandra, Brandon Shurtleff, Adrian Lucian. We already know one suspect came and contacted the police after Brandi Neal spoke with the DA's office. You're going to get the deal if you come forward. The one that comes forward with with information is going to get the deal. One of these suspects needs to say something, because we know Stacey's going to say something eventually if he hasn't already. And I know Adrian's talking. I can't go into details, but I am telling you right now, Adrian has been speaking. It's time. It's time to bring justice for Michael Monkey Vaughn. He was abducted near his home, near 8th in Arizona on July 27th, 2021. He was murdered by one of these 4 suspects, or a person that these 4 suspects know. Somebody knows something, and it's time. The tip line again is 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Tick, tick, tick. Your time is running out. Time is running out to get that deal. If you know anything, you better start speaking up. Monkey's Army isn't going away. We are here. We are here and we are strong. It's time. You can email me. You can get a hold of law enforcement. That's your first pick. You need to get a hold of law enforcement. You want to come up on panel and talk? Come up on panel. Talk. Talk with Brandi. Talk to law enforcement. It's just time. This is heartbreaking to keep watching, especially knowing how sick Brandi is. It's just becoming a very, very, very sad, heartbreaking thing to watch. I can't express that any more than I've already tried. I hated even mentioning that something bad could happen to Brandi, but these are the facts. Something bad could happen, and she may never know what happened to her son. For frig's sake, it's just time for someone who knows where my monkey is to just come forward, get it done and over with. If you don't, we're talking the death penalty. We're talking the life in prison. We're talking years and years of your life gone. Gone. I'm not sure that I have any more information here. I went off on a little tangent there. I do. I have one more video I want to share because this was another contradiction that I found. Hidden true crime interviews and talks with Stacey too. And this has to do with Michael Vaughn being buried in the Wanderer's yard. And it just doesn't make sense because we know now what he told in this footage, in this confession footage, right? Not only did he call in the tip, he wasn't coerced for days and days. He wasn't bawling his eyes out. Oh my God. Okay, I'll finally tell you. Michael was buried in my backyard. No, that's not how it went. He picked up the phone. He called law enforcement, said, hey, I got a tip for you about Michael. Come see me. They went there. They talked to him. Yeah, it's not the full footage. We get it. We know he gave out a lot more information. But even Chris Madonna asks him if he's coerced. You know, they didn't talk him into saying anything. He's perfectly calm. He's not upset. He's just blah, 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 giving out information. And he's saying that Sarah and Adrian buried Michael in the backyard in a garbage bag with a pointed shovel. He's saying that Brandon Shirtliff duct taped or bound Michael up in the spare room. Or, okay, exact words are to Chris Madonna, he said, Brandon bound Michael up in the guest house. Mom's house. Guest room at mom's house. Okay? These are the things that he's saying. It's so friggin' hard to talk about when details are coming out. Oh my God, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. It just gets my head all foggy and I get upset and frustrated. But these are the facts. These are the things that Stacey is saying. My point is, he's already talking. Yeah, but he's still contradicting himself because check this out.
That I gave the detectives was nowhere even relatively close to the shed. I told them that he was buried directly outside, like in the middle of the yard, directly across right when you walk off the patio. And I knew he wasn't there, which is why they didn't find anything.
Why did you say there, that area?
Because they were gonna hound me for a spot anyways. They would want a location. And they did that. I initially did try telling him it was just the backyard he was in. But they were like, okay, well, where is he at in the backyard? And that's when I told them he's here in this spot. And I was on video with, I think, Chris, the detective. And
Okay.
I pointed them in exactly where.
I pointed them exactly where, and he just like, he's can't find his words here because it gets tripped up. I mean, listen, I pointed them exactly where, as he's trying to deny that Michael's body's even in the backyard, I pointed them exactly where. And he's fumbling his words again.
Exactly where, where I told him he was at.
Where I told them he was at. I mean, you couldn't fumble anymore as you're giving yourself away, Stacey.
He was going to be at, but I knew he wasn't going to be there. And I know it sounds incredibly stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
To do so, I didn't know what else to do. Like, they were so persistent and wanted they wanted to make sure that I knew something, and
He fumbles up. I'm gonna put out here in chat. Hidden true crime. Let me get it here. Credit for hidden true crime for this interview here. And while I'm at it, please don't forget to give a thumbs up, become a member if you would like. I would love to have you here. If you just want to stick around and watch from the bushes, that's fine too. Just be a sub. I appreciate anybody and everybody. I cannot be here without you, and I appreciate you guys so much.
I don't. There's no, I don't have information. I even took a polygraph, and I passed the polygraph with flying colors.
So he's saying backyard. He's telling this to Hidden True Crime that he told the investigators it was out the back door, straight across. But here's the thing. Hold on one minute, because we got Tara. We got a new member, and you guys know I like to party when we have members. Hold on 1 second. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for becoming a Missing PNW member. Whisper, thank you so much, hon. Y'all have been amazing tonight. Chaos Queen, new member. Haven't you been a member for a minute? Thank you so much. I thought you were already a member. Thank you. So he's saying here with Hidden True Crime that he tells them straight across the yard, when in that confession video, that's not what he's saying. And he also talks about the shed. Even Chaos Queen's like, shed? That is not the description that he gives law enforcement when he tells them to look where to look for Monkey in his backyard. But he's telling her right now it was straight across out the back door. Nope, that's not where he says in his confession footage. But look at that area, you guys. Look at the trees. He talks about the trees. This is the description. And when you see the after effects of this yard, there's no trees in that yard. Why? Because they dug it all up. They had to dig up 3 to 4 feet down because a valuable tip came in and Michael had been moved.
Hey, we're trying to make it go through.
And just, I've said this before, but can you guys imagine? They've got dump trucks and they've got, digging tools and stuff, bulldozers coming in, they're digging in this yard. You guys just saw that neighborhood, okay? You saw where the Vaughn family lived. You see how small this neighborhood is. And this family had to hear those trucks come up and down that road. They're digging, they're putting stuff into the dump truck. The dump trucks are leaving, they're taking it to somewhere so that the dirt can be sifted through so they can look for any evidence to find Michael at all. If his body had, if his body was moved, so they got to look for even more evidence in the soil and everything else. And they've got to hear these trucks, not 1 week, but almost 2 weeks driving by all the time. And every time they hear that truck, they know they're going to go dig for Michael Vaughn. Just a little bit of what they've went through. Have mercy on this family. Somebody come forward.
Bye bye.
Okay. It says it can't receive video calls right now.
Are you on? Are you? Is the number that just got dialed? Is that an iPhone?
No. How are you?
I'm here.
Feeling okay today?
I'm tired, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you will help me a little bit more. I'm over here. I'm in your home.
Okay.
So I need a little bit more direction about where Michael is at.
Go out the back door.
And people driving by Brandi's house constantly. Hell, I didn't even know that. Jesus. Wow. Justice for Michael. The story gets worse when you hear it. Got a new member, cuz. Thank you for being here. Thank you for becoming a member. We're going to party for a second because we got a new whisper in the house. You guys have been so amazing. I don't even know how many new members I just got tonight, but that is amazing. I am such a little station. I don't get very many members. I don't get very many super chats, but I just thank you so much, cuz, for joining. Thank you guys all for becoming members tonight, for the super chats, for the love. I do this for the Vaughn family. I do this because there is a child who is missing who needs to go home to their parents. This is such a sad case, and I just can't do this without you. Thank you guys so much.
Door, or
Okay.
I can't.
So now Chris Madonna has had him take his phone, turn it around. He is now leading the investigator to where Michael is, and listen to his words.
Can you turn the camera around so I can show you?
We're going to flip it around right now. Stand by. Right here.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm going out the kitchen door.
That's some equipment.
That is some equipment. Okay. Where do I need to go?
Okay, face to the right. Like right where the dirt piles are.
Right where the dirt piles are. About how far off of the fence?
Uh,
Okay, go ahead. Okay, walk over there and you point us to where it needs to be.
okay. Now keep going out a little further.
Yaya, thank you so much for donating 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. I don't know if that's why everybody was showing up as new members or not. So I could have got that messed up. It's different from my phone and looking here at the live, but I appreciate you so much, Yaya, for donating 5 memberships. That's amazing. Thank you so much. You are super.
Keep going out a little further. You're going to have to climb that mound.
It's like
So he let them out the back door, told them to take a right, go over by the tree that we saw that was to the right. So this isn't across the patio into the middle of the yard. This is literally by the trees, by the shed that he spoke about.
right under that mound area.
It's right under the mound. About where at compared to the trees?
A little like right to the right of the trees area.
So right of the tree area, there was 2 trees there in that corner. To the right of that tree would have almost been near the shed that I believe at one point he said, Sarah said he was near the shed, but he wasn't. Total deflection.
To the right of the trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
So,
bit. Where
can
the
you see-
door.
Okay, where at now?
Now he's off the dirt mound. It's like underneath the dirt mound area.
And about where he's standing?
Yeah, a little bit less, like closer to the house.
Come closer to the house?
Yeah.
And what is he wrapped in?
He should be. I mean, it should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage?
Such a trigger warning for anybody. Please protect your mental health. if you can't handle listening to this, you might want to come back and listen to a replay when you can. Please, mods, do a little bit of trigger warning. There, some people may not have heard this. So please protect your mental health. If this is affecting you too much, please just don't watch, okay? I'd rather you protect your mental health than to be here giving views.
It would either be white or black. We only had 2 colors.
I want you to direct him from the fence where that orange thing in his hand is. Where do we need to stop it?
Right about there.
Right about there. Okay. All right. We will try.
Sixth Sense, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, hon.
There.
Okay.
Do you have any other suggestions for us, Stacey?
I mean, like I said, that's where he was buried.
Okay.
That's the last place I had known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Okay, well, we're going to finish here first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
So does he need to go right or left? Or anywhere else?
That general area, that bucket's enough to dig, but you're going to want to start digging underneath the dirt piles.
Okay, how far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug, to be honest with you.
About, give me an estimate.
I mean, maybe 4 or 5 feet.
4 or 5 feet? 4 or 5 feet, that's probably taller than me.
Like I said, you asked for an estimate, I'm giving you what, it's probably shorter than that. I don't have an exact idea.
Okay, when she dug the hole, was she standing in the hole?
She's standing outside of it.
Okay, and was she using a regular shovel?
I think it was a bullnose, or what do you call them, pointed ones.
Okay, and did the shovel, was she able to stand on the outside of the ground and the shovel able to reach the bottom of the hole?
Yes.
Okay, about how far down was the shovel in the hole?
I don't know, let's say like 3 feet down, 2 feet down. I don't have like I said, I don't have an exact, measurement to give you. I didn't pay attention that far.
That's okay. Okay, we will try where you suggested, and I will call you back. Okay, Stacey?
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Full detail of exactly where he says that he saw Sarah and Adrian bury Michael in his backyard. It definitely wasn't, the area
that
that
I
he's
gave the.
about. Let's see. Definitely was not here, directly across. And he even says here, not by the shed. So he's, still trying to deny anything and everything that he's done when he had already confessed to law enforcement about what he saw. But we still can't even believe whether or not that's true, because he lies about everything. So we don't know if Sarah buried Michael. We don't know if Adrian buried Michael. We don't know who harmed Michael, who buried Michael, or where Michael's at. And those are the answers that we are seeking. Those are the answers that the Vaughn family wants, so that they can move on, so that they can mourn the way that they should be able to mourn. Heaven forbid anything happen to Brandi before she knows where her son is or what happened to her son, Michael Vaughn. You guys have been a super amazing chat tonight. Thank you guys all for being here. I am so spur of the moment. So if you guys like being here, love what you see, please become a member of Pacific North or Missing Pacific Northwest Crimes Revisited. Click that like, hit the notification, because I am so spur of the moment. You might want to have the spur. Yeah, you might want to hit that notification. I appreciate my mods so much for showing up when I give such short notice. I'm going to throw out some links here for Dolly Vision and Hidden True Crime. Thank you guys all for letting me, anybody can share any information here from my channel onto theirs. This is about Michael Vaughn. This is about Michael coming home. My mods are amazing mods, and they all know I'm always so spur of the moment. I feel so bad when I'm like, okay, doing a live today after seeing, sometimes I don't know when I'm going to see my grandkids and when I'm not going to see my grandkids, when I'm going to be able to do a live or not. I really just kind of take it day by day and fit in the lives when I can. I'm a mom of 3, a grandma of 6. My family's my world. I never know how my husband's schedule is going to go and how that's going to work in. So I really do appreciate having everybody when I do spur of the moment. So like I said, notifications are very important. Being a member, a subscriber, just checking out the channel, because I really do do a lot of spur of the moment lives. This case is near and dear to my heart. I love the Vaughn family. I love all of you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm going to throw up. If you know or have any information about Michael Monkey Vaughn, please call the Fruitland tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. There are 4 named suspects, Sarah and Stacey Wandra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian, as seen here on this flyer. What can you do to help? You can share. You can hit the like button to make sure that this gets out in the algorithm. You can share Michael's flyer. I'll put up in chat right now Michael Vaughn's Facebook group that you can join. This is the Missing Pacific Northwest Facebook group. I put a lot of my information there, flyers there. Information. Let's see. Trying to find. Where is Michael's? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is Michael's Facebook group that I run, and then my mods run, or my admins run. And then the Missing PNW. I'll also share my email again, in case anybody wants to contact me. And then again, if you want to become a member, I would gladly appreciate it and would love to have you part of the family. You're already part of the family, whether you're a member or not, though. So share Michael's flyer, share his story, go over, talk about him in other chats when other people are doing lives on Michael, hit their like buttons. Let's put information out about Michael as much as we can. Social media is the fastest, best way. This particular flyer, I believe, is one of the best flyers that you can put up. There's lots out there made by many different people. There's the FBI. There's the one for missing and exploited children that's out there. This one has all 4 suspects on it. One of the reasons why I really love this particular flyer, it's one of the newer ones that's being used. It also has the age progressed picture. And there is over $52,000 reward for Michael Monkey Vaughn. No tip is too big or small. Excuse me, got to clear my throat. And the tip line again is 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. You can remain anonymous. It does matter. You may think that what you are holding to yourself has no value when it could actually be exactly what law enforcement needs. Indictments are coming. And please, please grab a shirt, sweatshirt. Monkey's Army shirts are ready to be ordered. Please get your t-shirt. This is awesome. I'm so happy. I can't wait to get on there and order something. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys all for the support. If you're here and you missed it, I did do a live with Brandon Shurtleff at the beginning of the week. He finally came up on panel. I had so many people telling me, like, I can't believe you got him to come up. And, you know, it was a hard thing to do. I didn't have to coerce him any to come up, but let me tell you, he came up because he said he promised me that he would, so he kept his word. I appreciated that he did come, and he said a lot. He took us through July 27th, 2021, the best he could at his recollection. Chat was amazing. Thank you guys for that. And Blue, Brandy's oldest daughter, wrote a beautiful essay for college that she shared and read to Brandon Shurtleff. If you missed it, it's a great live. Even if you just go over there and listen what Blue has to say, her essay was about grief, what their family has been through, and about Brandy and her illness and Brandy's drinking. And it was just, you know, it was amazing. It's their truth. That family has come out and told everybody anything and everything they needed to know. They're, you know, doing everything they can to find their son. Brandy has so much strength. She is amazing. Brandy strong. Monkey Army's here. We're never giving up. Thank you, Purple. Thank you, mods, for being here. Thank you for sharing. I mean, the t-shirt thing, for real. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to be clicking that link and buying some. Thank you, Trips True Talk, for being here. I haven't ever seen you in here before. Thank you, Halo Art. Send some prayers out to her. She's had some health issues lately. Hot Mess has had some health issues lately. And don't forget to pray for Brandy. I'm going to put a video up. So please say some prayers and share Michael Vaughn. Let's get his name out there. I appreciate you guys for coming. Here's a video for Michael on the way out. Thank you for joining.